Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. I hope this video makes your day even greater because I'm showing you the most highly requested video from you guys when I recently asked you what do you want to see next, and you all, well not all, but many of you said that you wanted to see the new for 2015 spring OPI collection, that is the Hawaii collection. So yeah, there's so much fun goodies in this collection. I'm ready to let's get right into it. Let's just start swatching everything. If you are interested in hearing like what dupes of these polishes are, there are a few. Actually, a lot of the polishes in here have quite a few dupes. So we're going to talk about that at the end. So if you're interested in hearing, you know, how dupeable they are and, you know, things like that, actually a lot of the dupes are within OPI's collection alone, like a lot of them that I have found. So yeah, if you are totally into hearing about that, that'll be after. But at this first part, we're just going to get right into live applications so you can see which ones are worth your time, which ones you're interested in, and all that kinds of stuff. And if you're interested in what's on my lips, this is NYX Buttergloss in Sugar Cookie. And as you can see in the bottle here, it looks way more threatening than it looks on the lips. It's actually a really nice, just pleasant pink on the lips. So yeah, I really like that one. And if you want to know what's on my nails, well, you're just gonna have to keep watching. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so some of the polishes in this collection I feel are just like, they hit it out of the park. They did a great job. These are must-haves. Some of the other ones in here I feel like maybe formula-wise, you know, they're just not, they weren't quite as up to par as the other ones. So when you can like see that there are creams within a collection that don't quite, you know, hold up to the formula as other creams in the collection, you're just kind of like, you know, why couldn't they have just done it as good all throughout the collection? I'm not really sure why, but we'll get into that as we go along. So I want to start out with one that I really do like, and this is called Aloha from OPI, and it's this bright, coral red orange, but it's very bright. This one does have quite a few dupes actually, but in this collection it had one of the better formulas, and so I do feel like this one, you know, if you really do like bright sunny reds for spring and summer, then I think this one is a really good one to pick up. So I'm going to show you two coats as always, and yeah, let's take a look. So the next one I want to look at, this is called Go with the Lava Flow, and this is actually kind of similar to the one we just looked at. It's a little bit more subdued, but it's right there in that red, orange, and coral range. I think of this one more as like a soft strawberry maybe, but it does have tons of gold shimmer running throughout. Now, on the nail, for me personally, this one just wasn't really doing it for me. There wasn't anything about it that I was just like, yes, gotta have this one. However, this may be like the exact polish you've been looking for. So I don't want you to take my word for it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. This does look nice in two coats. And I did have a few things that were kind of dupes for this one. So of course you can listen to that portion of the video later on. But let's take a look at live application swatching. All right, another pink in the collection. This one is called Suzie Shops and Island Hops. Unfortunately, this one was a little bit of a disappointment for me just because there are so many like ballet slipper pinks out there, and I don't really think that there's anything here breaking the mold, and the formula isn't really that great. So I don't know. I'm gonna show you so you can see for yourself, but in 2 coats it was still a little bit streaky. I just feel like they could have got the formula a little bit better on this one, and it's a rather generic shade. So that's how I feel about it. Let me show you and you can decide how you feel about it. All right, the last one in the pink family, we're kind of moving more rosy plum, but I feel like this is a nice dusty rose. It has very subtle silver shimmer going throughout it, very subtle, and it's called Just Lanai-ing Around. And you know, this one was okay. I did like this one. It's kind of like one of those colors that you see like on your grandma's couch a little bit, but on the nail, I thought it was rather nice. Now, you may look at this and be like, bleh, you know, that's really old fashioned or whatever, but I don't know. I thought this was kind of fun. I think it's interesting that they threw in something, you know, that could definitely be considered from a different decade. So, yeah, this one has a nice application. Let me show you and you can see for yourself. Alright, so the next polish I want to show you, we are moving out of the reds and into orange. This one is called Is My Tie Crooked? And the language that they're using in there is like Mai Tai, like the drink. So Is My Tie Crooked? And this one is just like a creamsicle peachy orange. Now, the reason this one isn't going to be on my tops that you should definitely run out and pick is it doesn't really have that great of a formula. On 2 coats, it was a little bit streaky, just a little bit runny. Like, again, I was just like, hey, why couldn't you just, you know, pump up your formula a little bit? The other reason is the dupe that I'm going to show you. I have a few dupes for this one, but the one that looks most similar to it is within OPI's collection. So it's a little bit bummer to me that they had to put out a polish that's like almost exactly like one they already have. You can probably already guess which one it's going to be if you saw last spring's collection, but you know, I'll show you that later. So let's take a look at 2 coats live application of Is My Tie Crooked? Alright, so now we're going to look at the one yellow-ish polish in the collection. This one's called Pineapples Have Peelings Too. And this one is already getting a little bit of bad press on social media because it is such a weird color. It's a light gold frost, metallic-y shade with every like color in the rainbow there in the glitters. I mean, yeah, pretty much every color in there. So it's really like carnival-esque looking, you know, maybe they were going for like the party feeling of Hawaii. I'm not really sure, but on the nail it looks a little bit kooky. However, like I always say, you know, we don't all have the same opinions about nail polish, so you may really, really like this one. I mean, I don't really take that much, you know, like offense to this polish. It's weird, but I'm definitely gonna wear it. So anyway, let me show you what it looks like. Oh, and this definitely doesn't have any dupes in my collection, and certainly not in last OPI's spring collection. Alright, so there are a few greens in this collection, and the first one I'm going to show you is called That's Hilarious, like hula hula, and it's this cute mint green. It's definitely on the greener side than the blue side of what I consider mint. Like, I feel like it could go a little bit blue, a little bit green. When I was looking for dupes of this one, I usually had stuff that was like a little bit darker than this or a little bit bluer than this. So I don't have, this isn't super dupeable in my collection, but I'm going to show you a few comparative things. Again, this one does not have the best formula. At 2 coats, it's workable. With a lot of the polishes that I'm saying that on, if you go really thin on your coats, you could probably do 3 and be pretty happy with application. But I typically like a polish, especially a cream, to be able to be a 2 coat polish. Like, I don't feel like you should have to do 3 for creams. That's my own personal opinion. So anyway, you might have to do 3 on this one. It is a really nice, pretty color. I am glad that they included it. It's really refreshing in this collection. So as always, let me show you and you can see for yourself and decide what you think about this formula. All right, the other green in this collection I actually really like. This is one of my favorites, and it's called My Gecko Does Tricks, and it looks like this. And I really like green polish. That's just a thing about me. And if the formula on the one I just shown you had been a little bit better, I think I would have been bonkers about it too. Now, the thing about this one is it's a lustery polish. It's not a cream, so it's a little bit on the sheer side. When you wear it over a cream polish, you can just really see this exactly like what it looks like in the bottle. On its own at 2 coats, it is still a little sheer, so you could even go for 3 coats. Or what I really just like to do is just put it over like a nice grassy green and just put this right over the top, and you're seeing the whole color of this polish, and you don't have to worry about having a whole bunch of layers underneath. So anyway, I really like this. I think it's fabulous. Some of you out there may think that's a weird color. I really wouldn't wear that very often. You know, I don't have an office job. I do have that luxury of being able to wear whatever kind of polish I want. I think this is a really fun one to have in a collection, so this is definitely one of my top picks. I'm going to show you live application. It is going to be on its own, so you can see how it stands in its true form. So let's take a look. All right, so there's only one blue in this collection, and it was surprising to me the color of blue that they chose, but I actually think it's rather lovely, and it is what you've been looking at on my nails here. And it's called This Color's Making Waves. And it's just this gorgeous like teal blue. It looks like it's a duochrome, but it's kind of just more like super lustrous, because when I turn my finger, I don't see different colors. So the other thing about this polish is it has little flecks of gold running throughout it. Very small, but they're very noticeable on the nail. And I just think it's fabulous. It has pretty much the same formula as the green I just showed you. So what I like to do, again, is just wear it over a dark color that's similar to this one. I've worn it over the dark purple that's in this collection, and I only had to do one coat of the purple and one coat of this blue, and just look at how gorgeous that is, and it just shows up so true to the bottle. I really like this one. When I'd seen previous swatches of it, I thought, oh, I don't know if it's going to be worth it when you have to do so many coats. I really like wearing it this way as a topper. So anyway, I am going to show you how it swatches on its own, not as a topper, so you can see what it looks like true to form, just like the green one, and you can see for yourself. Alright, so the next one, they gave us two purples. Yay! This next one is definitely one of my favorites in the collection, and you will quickly see why. It is a purple and gray hybrid. This one is called Hello Hawaii. So like Hawaii. Hello Hawaii, and it's just so gorgeous. This is one of the creams that I feel like did have an okay two-coater formula. And the color is just perfection. It is very similar to a color already in the OPI collection. It's a little bit deeper than that polish, so I don't feel like they're exact dupes, but it is very similar. However, I just absolutely love this color, so this is definitely tops for me. Let's take a look at live application. Alright, so they did include one neutral polish in here, and it's called Do You Take Lei Away, and I think that's a really cute name. This one is pretty similar to some neutrals that OPI has come out with recently, and we'll talk about that later, but I did like the formula of this one, so I was okay with this one. Two coats, it's really a nice pretty neutral to go along with all these fabulous colors they've included in here, so I was really glad that they included one. And so yeah, let's take a look. Alright, so we're going to finish up this portion of the video with one of my very favorites, and this one is called Lost My Bikini in Molokini, and it's this gorgeous deep grape. So I like this one a lot, and it's because it has the best formula out of the whole bunch, and it's purple. I do want to say it does have a lot of things that could be either dead on dupes or very close to being dupes, but I mean, it's just so gorgeous. I mean, I think that OPI is killing it with their purples lately. I'm so appreciative of that because it's one of my favorite colors of polish to wear. So let me show you formula and you can fall in love with it as I have. And yeah, let's take a look. Alright, so for me personally, these are my tops from the collection. I think the two purples, I think they were great. They are Lost My Bikini in Molokini and Hello Hawaii. I really thought that they did a great job formula-wise with this red. It's super bright and hot and sexy and I think really fun. This one's called Aloha from OPI. And then these two lustre ones. So My Gecko Does Tricks and this color's Making Waves. So those were my favorites. I know we're not all going to agree, but that's just personally which ones that I love the best. Alright, so now that we are in the second portion of our video, hello, welcome if you were interested in finding out about dupes. So, yeah, I did want to include this at the end because I feel like there's a lot for me to talk about here, and if you weren't interested in dupes, then you didn't really need to listen to this part. So, alright, let's start off first. The first one, Aloha from OPI, I feel like is very similar to, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 polishes that are really close. So what I do is I take my main color and I put it up on my screen, and then I take all my other swatches, I have them in folders by colors, and then I put them on the screen and then I scroll through to see what is the like almost the exact color. So I go by my swatch photos, not by the bottles. And polishes that are very similar to this one are, and I'm going to show you pictures of all of them after, but I'm just going to list them for you. The ones that I found that were very similar are China Glaze Eye Break for Color, which just came out in their spring collection, Essie Come Here, Orly Retro Red, which does dry matte, but with a top coat, it looks like almost exactly the same, Terracotta, also from Orly, Revlon Infamous, Sinful Colors Papaya, and Zoya Rocha. So if you have any of those, I feel like they are very similar to this. So even though this one is one of my tops, I would still say probably that you would really, really like this, and it's a really great one out of the collection. However, if you're looking to cut some corners on this collection, if you definitely were thinking, I don't want to pick up the whole thing, and I just maybe want to pick out a few that are very unique, this one's probably not super unique, but I did still really like it. Okay, as for this baby pink here, this one was called Suzie Shops and Island Hops. So you're gonna probably be thinking through your collection already of a bunch that you have that are very similar to this because it's very just generic ballet slipper pink. That's how I feel about it. So I'm just gonna name off a few here. China Glaze Something Sweet, Color Club Blushing Rose, Essie I Pink I Can, and OPI Mod About You. And it's actually very close to OPI Mod About You, so I just think that's pretty funny when they have them within their own collection that are so similar. But anyway, let's take a look at those photos. Alright, so the next one that we're going to look at dupes for is just Lanai-ing Around, and it's that Dusty Rose. This one is actually one of the ones that I had the least amount of dupes for. It was the least similar to anything in my collection. The thing that I found that was the closest for it is Pure Ice in the color Rumors. Maybe I just don't pick up polishes like this a lot. When I was looking through my collection, I either had something much deeper or much lighter And then it also has that subtle shimmer aspect. So I'm going to show you that one photo. That's the only one that I could find that was super close. Alright, so next we're going to look at Go with the Lava Flows dupes. And for me, actually in my collection I only found 3 that were very similar. We're looking at China Glaze Burnt Buns is actually pretty similar to this. Sephora by OPI Go with the Flow-er. And Avon Apple of His Eye. That one's a little bit brighter than this, but it does have that golden shimmery aspect. So I picked all like strawberry shades that had that golden shimmer. So those were 3 within my collection that I thought were actually rather similar. So let's take a look at photos of those. Okay, for this kind of creamsicle peachy orange is Mai Tai Crooked. I did have, 5 dupes for that one. So to start things off, we have China Glaze If in Doubt, Surf It Out from their summer collection for 2014. China Glaze Peachy Keen, is also really close to this. Julie G Old San Juan is a little bit warmer, but still very close. Misa Shake It to the Samba is very close if you like the brand Misa and you already happen to own that one. And then actually the most similar is OPI Where Did Susie's Man Go? It's like almost exactly the same. At least from my photos that I took. Side by side in the bottle, I mean, you could argue they feel a little bit different, but when you're looking at photos of like all the polishes in your collection and you like can't tell which one is which, I would say you probably don't need both of them. But, you know. Anyway, so let's take a look at those photos. Alright, so the gray purple in the collection called Hello Hawaii. I have 3 that are similar. 2 of them have shimmer and this one doesn't have any shimmer. So that aspect would make it that I only really have 1 that's very similar, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell them to you. Nicole by OPI's Back to Reality TV is like almost this exact color, but it has tons of shimmer in it. So for that aspect alone, you know, they're not very close, but color-wise, those are close. Also, OCC Electric Sheep is kind of close to this, but the one that takes the cake is OPI Planks a Lot. It's lighter than this, so this is slightly darker, so they're definitely not exact dupes. But within OPI's own collection, they do have a polish that's very similar. However, I'm not going to really hate on them for making another beautiful gray purple because I love gray purples and Planks a Lot is like one of my favorite OPI polishes. And the fact that they're not, you know, exactly the same like lightness or darkness, I feel like they are a really similar combination of gray and purple. But this one is a little bit darker. So anyway, we'll take a look at those photos. Alright, so like I said in the beginning portion of this video, I do have a lot of dupes for this purple, so I'm just going to roll straight through them. This one is Lost My Bikini in Molokini. So the dupes that I have for this one, I have China Glaze Spontaneous, Nicole by OPI Love Song is pretty similar, NYC Jacaranda Flower, Pure Ice Fairy Godmother is very similar, Revlon Enchanting, Rimmel Purple Rain, Sally Hansen Good to Grape, very close, but the closest one was OPI A Grape Fit. So another one that's like within OPI's own collection that's almost exactly like this color. It's kind of like, I love this collection so much, but it's like, why did they just pull out colors that they pretty much already had? I mean, I know that they have a vast range of colors, so they're bound to start repeating things a little bit. So, you know, I don't know. You let me know. What do you make of that? Alright, so this mint green, this one was called That's Hilarious, And this one I actually only have two that are quite similar. I have Burial Mint Ice Cream Cone and Color Club La Petite Mint Sur. And so I was pleased that I don't have a ton that are the same as this. If only the formula was just a little bit better. But just discovering within my own collection, I own a ton of greens and not too many were just the same as this. They were either a little bit darker or lighter, or they were a little bit more blue. So I feel like this one is nice and unique in my collection, so I'm definitely gonna make it work. Even though the formula wasn't super fabulous, I'm gonna make it work. Alright, so this blue one here, this color's Making Waves. This one does have a few that are kind of similar to it, but it is so unique. The ones in my collection that are close, I have Nicole by OPI, A Little Bit of Love. That's close. It's not really the same thing, but it's kind of in the same, you know, hemisphere. Zoya's Hazel is close to this kind of look, but it's not as green. And then Misa, the Great Green What's It, is actually the most similar thing that I have to this. So anyway. Alright, so for this taupey nude color here, Do You Take Lei Away, I was pleased to find that I only had two that were pretty similar. The first one is the Wet n Wild Yosoi from the new polishes that they just came out with, that neutral. And then OPI's Don't Bossa Nova Me Around was kind of similar, but this one has... That one was definitely cooler than this one. So this one has a little bit more tan, like a couple drops of more tan in it. So I was glad to find that there's not something that's like exactly just like it within my collection. So that was good. So yeah, I'll just show you those two. Alright, so next up, this green. I'm happy to say I don't have anything to show you that's a dupe for this one. Yay! Alright, and then obviously, well, I don't know, not obviously, I do have a ton of polish, but I don't have anything to show you that is close for this one. So you probably already guessed that. Alright, so that is the end. You are such a champ for making it all the way through here. I think that's all I have. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. If you like live application, that is what we do here. Pretty much, like everything I show you on my channel is live application, so you can see formula for yourself. And yeah, we'd love to have you here in our little family of polished crazy maniacs. So yeah, that's all I have. I hope you're having a good one, and I'll see you back next time. Bye.